I got a question, and I'm no atheist or nothing, but this world is so fucked up, right? That's what a lot of people say, the world is fucked up. And there's so much going on everywhere. And people will be like, but God is in control. God is the Almighty. If God is in control and the Almighty, then why is the world so fucked up? Why? Y'all keep saying the devil is out here working. So the devil's out here working, all this evil is out here. That's seeming like the devil is more powerful than God. And every time I ask people to explain it, don't nobody got an answer for it. So help me understand this, because it ain't making no sense to me at all.
The crock of doo-doo. You know, we have no business over there. Stay here. We have nothing to do with that.
What are you worried about?
Getting blown up. Getting blown up. That's it. I hope I live.
I just feel like any war is unnecessary. I don't really care about the gas prices. It's just the loss of life. I feel that our country, our soldiers should not be in war, especially during these times with any country, because it affects us here at home, and people overseas are dying for nothing.
Are you scared your children might be deployed?
Yes, absolutely, I am. I'm terrified of it. So, you know, it's like me telling my kids, you can't tell them come home, because their body can come home. We always say come home alive.
Do you think the administration, Donald Trump, were thinking about the impact it would have on American businesses when they went into this?
I think it's hard to say. Whether I disagree or agree with what they did, I think it was something that, he had to do what he had to do, in my opinion.
Yes, it's most definitely having an impact on gas prices. I think the news yesterday stated it went up 23 cents since last week. So we're feeling the effect of all the little people. Not the big people, the little people. We the one who matters. We the one who feel it. It hurts us. The big people, it doesn't bother them.
And how do you feel generally about this war?
It's a crock of doo-doo. We have no business over there. Stay here. We have nothing to do with that. But yet we're trying to be policemen of the world and meddling in other countries' business, which should not be the case.
Y'all, they keep trying to silence me as a military combat veteran. I'm telling you, if this has got to be my last dying words on my deathbed, do not let your babies join this war. Because myself and 5 of my own buddies, I'm gonna tell you, one of them, he came back. He seemed alright on the outside, but he took his wife out and then drove off to a furniture store because the cops was heading after her. Locked himself in a closet, and then he took himself out. I had another buddy, came back, Y'all need to spread this. I ain't putting nothing negative out here, y'all. I'm telling you the truth. Spread it like wildfire, because it needs to be said. Ain't nothing wrong with our freedom over here that we gotta go over there. Ain't nothing wrong over here. But greed, chasing after money and oil. Don't you let your babies do what I did. Because when they get out, after they have taught you how to become the thing that helps to do the mission, they don't teach you how to be you no more. You forget who you is. I don't know if I'll ever remember who I was.
You don't care about veterans. You don't care about American values. You as Congress are complicit in the genocide in Gaza. You keep sending billions of dollars to Israel. Meanwhile, veterans are homeless and committing suicide with homeless.
The witnesses will hold on. The audience will refrain from public. You will be removed from the building.
You have an obligation to the Constitution of the United States. I'm a disabled veteran.
There's a genocide! There's a genocide!
You are all complicit in genocide.
Ma'am, you're not allowed to film in here. You're complicit in a genocide! Eddie, there's a genocide! Eddie, there's a genocide! Come on, Eddie! There's a genocide! You're complicit in genocide of the Palestinian people! You are complicit! Come on, Eddie! Eddie, help us! Eddie, help us save them! Come on, Eddie!
Just now, I had a thought come across my mind. And I really have to ask you ladies, this is no offense intended at all. I really want to know. If you are so strong and independent, who's going to take care of you in your old age? Are you expecting your children, their children? You're going to put the burden on them to take care of you when you get older? Because this economy is not set up for single people right now. It's not set up for one household incomes. Everybody knows that. This economy is trash. It's only going to get worse. And so inquiring minds want to know, the feminist women and the strong independent women, do you have enough money to live for the rest of your life after you're unable to work when you get older? Or are you just going to live with your children or their children? You're going to put the burden on your relatives. It just came across my mind because it's like, wait a minute. That's not fair to these younger generations. It's not. And to the younger women who are listening to these these strong independent women saying, oh, you don't need a man, honey. Don't fall for it. Do not fall for it, because yes, you do. You absolutely should be out here looking to couple up, looking for a husband. Okay? In old age, you do not want to be out in these streets living in a box. Unless y'all have money to retire for the rest of your life, I really do not understand the agenda of these feminist women. And not just feminists, but like the strong independent, I don't need a man women. Okay, sis. Y'all might as well get your cardboard boxes now and write your sign now. Because the economy, like I said, is only going to get worse. So, couple up. Find a husband.
My people shall be willing in the day of thy power, in the beauties of holiness, from the womb of the morning, thou hast the dew of thy
Our power lies in the spiritual, not in the carnal. As it is written, the carnal mind is enmity with the Heavenly Father. Part of being spiritual or thinking spiritual is knowing that eventually we're going to get spiritual power. That's part of being spiritual. And the scriptures support it, man. It's not a fantasy, it's reality. Eventually the Lord, Yahweh Shai, will give his men spiritual power, man. The scriptures here. Now, I'm talking some serious power that's way beyond the power of the so-called gun. Now, is a gun powerful? Yeah, if you know how to use it. The gun can be powerful in the right hands. The gun can be immensely powerful. And there's a power much greater than the gun. That is the message of this video.
Guardian, do you read? Guardian, do you read? 1-2, this is Guardian. Put down everything you've got. Just north of my position. This will be David. Copy. And you close.
There ain't gonna be no one that's gonna stand toe to toe with the Israelite that day. There's no one. Any heathen that would even dare to think to step against us, we're gonna look at them and cause their body to implode. We're gonna be like Akira. You know what I'm saying? You ever see that movie Akira, man? Hey, there's certain animes where people have got powers where guys' heads are just fucking exploding around them. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but them gunshots is getting real close. This shit not looking too good, I ain't gonna lie. Iran, they might have won this shit. I ain't gonna lie, too many motherfuckers is begging out. This shit not good. I ain't gonna lie, this shit raps. GG's in the chat, yeah.
Fair use. Copyright Act.
America is desperate, it's anxious, it's afraid that its empire is collapsing, and therefore it is lashing out against the world. You know, when America won the Cold War, the entire world celebrated this. You know, remember when the Berlin Wall fell and the jubilation, exhilaration of the Germans when they could unify as a people. And there's great hope in the 90s that American hegemony would lead to Pax Americana, a time of peace and prosperity for everyone. And for the most part, this was true. I mean, you know, if you were in Europe, if you were in the Anglosphere, if you were in China, then yeah, you had a very good time. But unfortunately, America started to become corrupt and arrogant. So after 9/11, America launched these wars in the Middle East, for no particular reason. It destroyed Afghanistan as a viable nation state, destroyed Iraq, which in 1980s was a flourishing, prosperous middle-class nation. It destroyed Libya, destroyed Syria, again, for no particular reasons. And so America started to become this bully in the Middle East in order to enact its certain ideas about the world, okay? And then you have this massive corruption, which led to the 2008 great financial crisis, which almost collapsed the entire global economy. So what's happening was that because America was the only hegemon, most countries of the world were sending their investments to America, and Wall Street became the most powerful entity in America. It led to the financialization of America. So it shipped its manufacturing overseas, primarily to China, and America focused on financial services. And that led to speculation, that led to gambling, that led to risky assets like derivatives. And ultimately, this system imploded in the 2008 great financial crisis. And not only did no one go to jail for all these crimes and these misdemeanors, but in fact, the financial industry was able to cement its global power over America. And this has led to, first of all, massive inequality in America, where if you are just an average person, the American dream is dead to you. You can no longer afford to buy a house. You can no longer afford to have a family. You can no longer afford to retire. It's led to massive inequality. It's also led to massive corruption, where Washington has been completely co-opted by the financial elite. Both the Democrats and Republicans serve the financial elite of Wall Street. And the third thing is that it's led to complacency. It's led to arrogance. America no longer makes things. It just makes things up. I mean, America has become this fantasy land. And so, the American empire was not sustainable. At the same time, the American empire still has the greatest military in the world. And the Russians were really the first to challenge American global hegemony by invading Ukraine. And at that time, the Americans did three things, right? The first thing that they did was they sanctioned Russia, which meant that Russia is no longer able to trade with anyone through the SWIFT system, the financial architecture of the world. So the SWIFT system, the Russians were banned from. Second thing that they did was split in theft, where $300 billion of Russian assets were seized by the Europeans and the Americans. $200 billion still sits frozen in European banks. A few months ago, the Europeans were discussing the possibility of using these Russian stolen money to finance the war in Ukraine. And the third thing that the Americans did was blockade or ask Europe to stop buying cheap Russian energy. We know exactly what happened afterwards, okay? The Nord Stream pipeline was blown up, and Germany was forced to pay 50% more for its energy needs from the Americans, liquefied natural gas from the Americans, and so the German economy basically collapsed, right? So by using its imperial powers, what America did was not really destroy Russia. Actually, America destroyed its reputation, right? Because if you can just steal money that people put in your banks, no one's going to put any money in your banks anymore. And so this has led to a massive downgrade in the power of the U.S. currency, the U.S. dollar. America cannibalized its own allies. Europe has collapsed economically. Germany is suffering really, really badly. And it's really emboldened the world against America. So remember, what happened after the Russian war is that the aura of inevitability and invincibility that sustained the American empire start to be broken. And then you have these nations in Africa who started to seek self-sufficiency. They wanted national sovereignty over their own resources. And so they threw out, the French colonial powers, they threw out the French military, the Sahel, right? And so we're seeing this throughout the world. And so under Trump, the response is to show the world that America still is the global hegemon, and that America has no peer adversary. And that's why we saw the kidnapping of President Maduro from Venezuela, which is a blatant violation of international law. It was a complete humiliation of the Venezuela nation state as well as its people. And then, of course, remember that they paraded Maduro on the streets of New York as though he was this captured war prisoner. And so it's humiliating for him as well. And then after Venezuela, of course, you have this war in Iran. And this war in Iran was, again, meant to show the world that America still has it, that the American empire cannot be challenged. And now it's kind of blow up in their face, okay? But that's a background as to how this war started.
The war in the Middle East threatening to spill well beyond the region as Iran is reportedly trying to activate sleeper cells abroad.
Steve Harrigan is live at the border between Iran and Armenia as Iranians look to flee the chaos. Hi, Steve.
Morning. The U.S. reporting encrypted messages coming out of Iran in the wake of the death of the supreme leader on February 28th. These encrypted messages, perhaps radio messages, signals ABC News is reporting that an alert has gone out to law enforcement warning about the possibility of sleeper cell attacks in the U.S. President Trump addressed the risk of a sleeper cell attack.